Well, good evening, everybody. It's MamaFe, Felicia, and look who I have sitting here with me. It's the Queen, Miss Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Tell everybody how you doing.
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for inviting me. We're gonna have a good time chatting it up.
We are. I Before we get started, I just want you to know that we watched Survivor since the beginning. We've
Okay.
watched Big Brother since the beginning. And I'll be honest, initially I had said I wanted to go on Survivor, but that was 20 years ago when I was younger. But I remember being so excited because at that time you were in Tacoma, Washington. And we were like, oh my God, they got somebody from Tacoma. So that was so exciting when you won that year. It was like, oh wow, we got to meet her one day.
Well, but you never applied back then. You didn't start applying until recently, right? Or you applied back then?
I never applied for Survivor because I was still, at that time, I was still in the military.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went, after retiring from the military, then started working federal service. Well, they aren't going to let you take off a month and 6 weeks and all that to go play a
Right.
game. So I knew I could never do it until I was fully retired. So last summer, June of 2022, I retired. October, I filled out my application for the first time for Big Brother. And I got called in March and landed on the show for BB25.
You know what? Our stories are kind of similar because I had finished with my fifth year. I had done three initially, then I re-enlisted for two, but by then I had two girls.
Yeah.
And so my husband was like, "You get out, you go to school with your GI Bill, and I'll stay in until I retire." And I was like, "Okay." And then Jeff got on TV and said, "If you think you have what it takes, go to cbs.com and apply." And so I applied and I sent in my, back then it was like 100 pages and a
Ooh.
VHS tape. So I applied and they called me. So, and that was it. A few months
Wow.
later, well, back then it took longer. I got on the show and that was the first and only time I applied and they
Yep.
called
Yep. My first, I
me.
had a 50-second video and I just went big and that 50-second video worked. And now it was a process from March until July when they came to the house and I left the house. So I never knew until that day that I was going on the show. And I was surprised when they came to the house because still thought they had 6 or 7 people to eliminate and I might not be going on. So when I got handed my key that day by Dwayne, I went ballistic and thought, oh my God, I'm going to walk through the door. It was crazy.
I always wondered about that. I thought that somebody would have to know because you'd have to sign a bunch of papers and like that it was fake real.
No, it's real. They make you fill out everything as though you're going. So you do everything. You just don't find out you're going until the day you leave your house.
Okay. Oh wow. So
Yeah.
that's the difference.
Yeah. So tell me, you've done Survivor what, 4 times?
No, six.
Say, oh my God.
Well,
And
I
one twice.
participated in six because when I was a mentor, I was on Island of the Idols with Boston Rob for 36 days, but we were there.
Yeah, I remember that. I
and
remember
then
that.
and then after that we did Winners at War, and then after that I did Australian Survivor with my youngest daughter. And Australian Survivor is 47 days, but I only lasted 16. It's the curse of day 16 for me, no matter where I'm playing. And she actually broke her foot and got injured and had to leave the game on crutches with a boot, with a scooter, the works, and
Yeah.
had to do
Yeah.
physical therapy. But that was my number six.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize it had been 6 times. Oh my gosh. But you won twice.
I won twice and I won twice back to back. I had one more before I had even lost the most. But
Now,
I've
let
done
me ask a question because
188 days out there.
yes, because it seems like once you win once, then you're the biggest target coming back in. So how do you manage that? How do you convince people, oh, I'm not the threat?
Oh, well, so when we went the second time for Heroes versus Villains, they had the All-Star season and all the winners went back to back. And that was
Okay.
season number 8. So I played in season number 20. And in my head, I said, I'm going to do the best I can.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the winners, I want to try to be the last winner standing. And so I got on my tribe, and it was just me and Parvati. We were the only two winners on that tribe.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I remember within the first 5 minutes of us landing on the beach, Randy came up to me and said, we've decided that if and when we lose, Parvati's going to go home first because she's already won. And I turn around to the camera and I'm like, he must not know who I am. I'm a winner. Like, how do you tell me she's gonna go home first because she's a winner? Once she's gone, I'm next. So
Right.
I didn't have an alliance with Parvati. I just simply said to her, girl, they're already throwing out your name and we ain't been here but like a couple of minutes. And so it became like my thing to try to protect her for as long as I could without having an alliance with her.
Uh-huh.
Just because I knew the minute she's gone, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to say that she was a meat shield for me, but I've always said that I don't play like that. But she
Right.
was a shield. She was a shield because as long as she stayed in the game, they weren't looking at me. So when I ended up winning that season, that was one of the first things that they said to her, like, we were gunning for you from day one. And she won a whole bunch of individual immunities and whatnot. And she kept herself in the game. So she
Uh-huh.
deserved it. But I had the social skills that she did not. And so
Right.
I won over the jury and I got most of the votes. But sitting at that tribal council, I thought she won.
Wow. Okay, wait a minute. So for everybody who is on Instagram, Sandra is live on my restream, but for some reason, and I don't know what this is, we haven't figured this out yet. I haven't figured this out yet. Instagram doesn't bring the person live, but I'm recording this and I'm going to put the recording out there when we done. Right now, though, if you go to YouTube or you go to TikTok, um, or what's the other one? YouTube or TikTok, you can see us live with both of us on the screen. But if you don't have one of those accounts, when we're finished, I'm going to upload this. It's recording, and you'll be able to see Sandra's face as we're chatting. So don't be dismayed. It's coming at a later minute. Okay, now we'll go back.
All
So
right.
now, having done Survivor as many times as you did it, how does that compare to Traitors? How long was
Um,
Traitors, first of all? How long were you there doing Traitors?
I want to say we were only there for about a little bit more than 3 weeks.
Okay, okay.
You know, I took like what, maybe 4 or 5 planes to get there, first of all, because although you fly into Heathrow, you still have to then fly into Scotland.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so yeah, it took, let me see, because I went from Fayetteville, I think, to Charlotte. Oh my God, let me tell you, I fly so much, I can't remember where I go and when I go. Like, I cannot remember none of this stuff. But I went from Fayetteville, if I'm not mistaken, to Charlotte. And from Charlotte, I think I went all the way into Heathrow. And then from Heathrow, we caught the last plane into Inverness.
Okay, okay,
So four
okay.
planes, 4 planes.
Wow. It looks like it's beautiful country over there. I haven't been to, actually, no, I haven't been to Switzerland before. I've been to Austria, but I haven't been to Switzerland. It looks like it's beautiful over there, but
No,
it was
we're in
cold over there.
Scotland. We're in
You're in
Scotland. You're in a whole,
Scotland,
yeah, we're in
Scotland.
a, hmm
Okay, yeah, I've never been there. I've never been
And
there, but
me
it looks like
neither.
it's
And I
beautiful
didn't know
country.
that golfing came from there. And they have like a lot of
Oh,
like big time golfers go there. And so
uh-huh.
the airport is always full of people flying in and out with these like big golf bags. And but I don't golf, so I don't, I don't pay attention to that. But I did not know that's the home of golf. That's where it all started.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that either. See, knowledge is power. You learn something every day.
Oh, but wait, we got to go back. You asked me how was Traders different in Survivor.
Yeah, how is Traitors different Survivor, and which one do you think is actually harder to play?
Oh my God, they both have their pros and their cons.
Yeah.
With Survivor, if your tribe doesn't lose the challenge, then you don't have to worry about going to tribal council. But with the traders, you're not only in fear of banishment every day, but possible murder at night. So
Yes.
two people go home every episode. Um, well, it's supposed to. You know, we've had that one episode where nobody got banished and
Yep. Yep.
everyone was in a uproar, but I think the social game for me was the same because I connect with people who I connect with, and
Yeah.
you know, but I thought their challenges were gonna be way easier, more like a wipeout type of challenge, like the floor is lava and all that craziness. But they ended up being hard.
They were
You know,
physical.
I took a big old
Yeah.
hit to the
That scratch
forehead.
on your head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the cemetery at our second mission. And then what people don't know is when we went across the wooden planks in the water when we were digging for gold, we called it Gold Rush. I
Uh-huh.
actually ran and hit one of the platforms with my chest. And I have the bruise. Hold on, you want me to show y'all?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Bam! Right across. Wow.
I got a bruise and I never posted it, but and this was me getting my phone days later when the game was over, that then I
Okay.
could take a picture of my bruise, because before then I didn't have my phone. But I took a whack to the chest and the doctor was constantly checking my breast because it was purple. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
it took the air and the life right out of me. I'm
I have to
digging
be
for it.
honest, I was surprised at how physical a lot. They always make you guys do a lot of running and walking and all that and getting in the water. And I said, "Oh Lord. Oh
That's
my
my
goodness.
breast.
Oh my
It was
God."
horrible. I've never showed anyone that picture, so you get it here first. So here's the thing. I think it's because they're so new to challenges and stuff like that. Well,
Yeah.
missions, that their safety team is not like Survivor. Anything where you can get hurt and you can hit full on, they have protection. Like those little floaty things that you use, those tubes in the pool, like those floaty
Yeah.
tubes, the pool noodles. They have stuff, that material around the edges so that you
Edges.
don't get hurt.
Right.
But
Right.
the platform was so far away, and it was like that was the part I could not get to the other side. And Alan was like, "You gotta do it, you gotta do it. Don't think about it, just run." And I'm like running, running, running. And I catch that platform, just boom, right on my chest. And I felt it. My
You
breath
probably
was
had to go
gone.
back and ice all night long.
No, I said horrible things like, "Oh my God." I said horrible things. Let me tell you that. But it's your brain. Like
Yeah.
Alan's like, you can do it, you can run. Like I'm not tall like Trishelle and CT. Like
Right.
I don't do this. The people from the challenge, when it comes to physical things, they're just built differently. Although I was giving it my all, but I would see the distance and my brain would say, don't even bother. Don't even
Yeah.
try jumping. You're not gonna make it, you know. So your feet
And
want to
what people
go.
don't realize is when you're short, you got short legs. So somebody that's taller, their legs can reach further. We got to take twice as many steps. It's hard because even on Big Brother, a lot of the challenges where it looks easy, when you're short, it's a lot harder. It really is,
Absolutely.
and people don't get that. And then with my height, I have short legs. So even when I'm sitting like on airplanes, I always have something underneath my feet, my carry-on bag or something, because my feet don't hit the floor.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2", so I'm
Oh,
not
I'm 5'4".
short.
Okay.
I'm not short, but my legs are short. So when I'm sitting like on most people's couches, my feet don't hit the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
I'm
all that
five
kind of
four. So,
crazy.
but my feet touch the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So do you think I think Trader too, like last year when Sari did it, it was half celebrities and half what I call normal
not
people, day-to-day
yeah,
people.
regular people,
Yes.
non-celebrities. Yeah.
You guys had a whole season of all celebrities. I think that makes it even harder.
It does, but not all of them are gamers. So in a sense, it's kind of like Cerie's first season where half of them come in playing a game from the jump and the other half are just trying to sort through it and sift through it and seeing where the cards fall, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, okay. So is your is your reality TV life still going? I mean, do you think you'll do anything else? Is there anything else out there that you want to do? Like for instance, I want to do Traitors. I want to do The Circle. I wouldn't mind doing The Mole. I wouldn't mind doing Squid Games. Deal or No Deal. That looks like that would be fabulous.
I do just about anything, and I'm glad that I got the opportunity to do the traders because there's so much stuff coming down the pipeline when it comes to Peacock and NBC Universal. So I hope they give me a call when they see something that that
That
could
fits.
work that I'd be great at.
Yeah,
So that's a positive thing about trying to get out of just Survivor. Like it's always been Survivor, Survivor, Survivor
yeah.
every seventh or eighth year. But I hope that moving forward, if there's something else out there that they see I could potentially do, give me a call. I'll pack my bags and I'll go and I'll do the best I can. Because
There you
after all,
go.
I'm a gamer. I play to win.
There
I,
you go. There you
I
go.
try my
I
best to
really
win.
thought you were going to make it to the end. And I think if Kate had not, if you hadn't gone home that segment, I think you would have made it to the end. I really do.
Yeah, so Kate actually set me up. So I give her props for that
Yeah, she
because she
did.
really
She
set
did.
me up. My banishment, she did her due diligence. Like she put in
Yeah.
work. But going to that mission, me, Trishelle, and MJ, or at least in my heart, and from what MJ was saying, it was gonna be us three. We were gonna banish Kate, and then
Yeah.
because Trishelle had doubts about CT, it would be CT to where it would be me and MJ and Trishelle final three, no
Yeah.
question asked. But of course, you see before then, MJ is kind of questioning if I'm that final traitor because what people don't understand, and I keep saying, is usually on traders they pick three traders from the jump and then they
Yeah.
were recruiting one which ended up being Parvati. So we didn't know they only grabbed two and then Parvati was three. We always thought there was three and then one four. So
Right.
okay, Dan's out of the picture, Parvati's out of the picture, Phaedra's out of the picture. Who is this fourth person we're looking for? So in MJ's eyes it looked like it was me. And when I went to the mission in the church, I messed up on episode 9.
Yeah.
Watching that episode, I said, oh my God, it took me 9 episodes to screw up. Phaedra doesn't ask me for my opinion, and I whisper to her, take out Trishelle because CT was part of the leftovers, and I wanted him to have the shield. That was it. I'd
Yeah.
rather him have the shield than Trishelle. But Phaedra moving all the way down, listening to me, CT overhearing that,
Yeah.
it was like, Sandra's got to be the other one. So right
Hmm.
there, I displayed traitor behavior because I'm working with a known traitor, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
in his eyes, could I be this fourth traitor we're looking for? So now he has doubts about me. So the way it played out, I don't think I would have made it to the final three as long as Kate and CT were there. If we would have took out Kate first and then moved on to CT, I think CT would have convinced maybe MJ and even Trishelle to still vote me out. So I don't think I would have made final three.
Oh, you don't think so? Yeah, it seemed like CT and Trishelle, they were tight. They had a, although I'll be honest, now I was surprised in the final episode where initially each one of them voted for somebody different and it was a three-way tie. It was like, uh-oh, what just happened? So that was surprising. And I feel bad for MJ. She was really caught off guard.
Oh yeah, so here's the thing. So Trishelle on 3 occasions, if not more, three that I could remember, she would say, I think CT's a traitor. I know him. I've known this dude for like 20 years, but don't say nothing. And I didn't say anything. I never
Right.
repeated what she said because a lot of times, like when Peter set up Parvati and Dan, people say stuff. So when someone says don't say anything, I'm like, okay, I don't say nothing. I could be getting set up, you know?
Right.
All right, so I didn't say anything. But I wasn't, come to find out, I wasn't the only one she said that to. So she did have her doubts about CT being a traitor, especially when it's 7 girls and CT. Like, could
Right.
CT be this dude that took out, along with Dan, that took out Bananas and the rest of the guys, especially since Janelle said, Dan, Parvati, CT, Sandra, you're all traitors, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So we don't, the names keep popping up. So Trishelle thought that he could potentially be a traitor. So when Trishelle voted for him, she was sincere in the fact that she had doubts. The
Yeah.
one that messed that up was MJ, because MJ voted for Trishelle. Then when they re-voted, they waited to see who she's writing down. And of course, she ain't writing down CT, that's two letters. She's
Right.
writing down Trishelle again for a second
Right.
time. So that's why I didn't understand why she was so mad at Trishelle, because I'm like, look, MJ, you wrote Trishelle's name down 2 times
Twice.
before she even wrote your name down once. And what people don't understand either is that my banishment was like 15 minutes before they went outside. My banishment was the last banishment.
Yeah.
I went to do my exit interviews. They went outside to finish the game. So my banishment by MJ and everyone else was like 15 minutes prior. So I really didn't have sympathy, because I was like, you did that to me 15 minutes ago and I'm not crying.
Right. Right.
So that's how I
Right.
felt about it.
Oh wow. How does your family feel about you doing the games? And well, you said one of your daughter played Survivor with you. Have
My
they
youngest,
thought
and
about
then she played alone. She did two.
okay, okay. And are they still interested in doing any of these other things that have come out? This
It
is a lot
depends
for you
if,
guys.
yeah, absolutely she would, but she has a good job too. She makes good money, so
Yeah.
it all depends, because like she did Australian Survivor a second time, and the second time she lasted 45 out of 47 days. Like that's a long time to be playing out there. So they were in Samoa, but like I say, in the woods, like
Yeah.
So now that she has a good job with good benefits, like it's really got to be worth it, because when she went the first time, it took her 3 months to get her job,
Ah,
it's not something she would take lightly. But if the right
right.
opportunity presented itself, and maybe something faster,
Yeah.
then maybe, but I can't speak for her.
Do you think you would ever do Big Brother?
I don't like the 100 days. I just can't.
Yeah.
Like my husband, he could take me gone here and there, but 100 days would cause me a divorce. That's a lot. And you know what? I think that by now I've earned the title of celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
put me
Yeah.
in
You
a
have.
celebrity edition. Don't just put me it's not fair when everyone is not on the same.
It really isn't. It really isn't. It really isn't. Um, yeah, 100, and Big Brother started off at about 60, 70 days and then went up to 80 days and then went back down and 100 days. And I guess in the beginning when they told me that, it was like, oh, when did you guys get that long? And it didn't still seem like that long, but I'm telling you, once we got to about day 75, you're exhausted and you're just mentally and emotionally drained. And even though I wanted to get to the end, you're also ready to go.
Yeah,
You, you,
absolutely.
you really do start feeling like I just want to go home and sleep in my own bed.
I've always said when I would do Survivor, I'm like, I just go, I get the job done. That's my job, to get the money. And I used to think to myself, Big Brother's just like going to jail. You do your time, you get out. But when I was quarantined in Australia for almost a month, I was like, nah, I can't do a jail sentence like I thought I could, you know?
I want to be free.
Yeah, because I've been watching like 60 days in, and I'm like, man, could I do it? Could I really go to jail? Could I fight somebody? Like, could I, like my social skills? But then, nah, 100 days in the Big Brother house, no. Call me for celebrity Big Brother. I'll,
Okay.
I'll, I'll play
Or,
my.
or, or reindeer games. I said I can do reindeer games, celebrity, but 90 days or 100 days, I couldn't do that again.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 no. I
I,
don't.
I, I really couldn't.
Like,
What do
if
you
you
think?
see me out there, it's because they paid me good money. But it's
I
got
ain't
to be
mad at
worth it for
all.
me. And you know what else too? Like, not that I'm a clean freak, because I don't think I have OCD, but I'm constantly like, even when I go clothes shopping, like I'm in the racks, I'm straightening the hangers. If there's a shirt dangling, I fix it. Like I'm always, you know, um, I don't go to sleep if my kitchen is not clean. And that means putting the dishes away, whether they're in the dishwasher, unloading it, filling it, getting it going. There's nothing left in my sink. My kids know, like, when my kitchen is clean, my kitchen is clean. Sweep, mop, then I go to my room, So imagine me in the Big Brother house. I'd be cleaning after people, and that would cause me
The Big
probably a
Brother
lot of
house
drama.
is nasty. That's why
Yeah.
I did the cooking, because I wanted to control the kitchen, because I'm a big kitchen person. Like you, the dishes put away, and most times, I did it, and there would be times where I get up sometimes, and I would try to go to bed every night, where before I laid down, put the dishes in the dishwasher, run it one last time, get the counters clean and everything. So in the morning when we get up, at least we start clean. And there were a few times where you got up and shit is all over the place, and you get up and it's like, oh hell no, I'm not even touching none of that. They're gonna do that this morning because I cleaned that up before I went to bed last night. This
I
don't
know
even
that's
make no
right.
sense.
I just assumed that while you guys slept, that somebody went in there and cleaned up behind you.
Oh no, we are responsible. Once we go through that door, nobody comes in there and cleans up for us. So if we let it stay nasty, it stays nasty.
But what about when you do those? When they hide the stuff in the house and you're flipping mattresses and all that crap.
They make the house guests clean the house. So that's why I think they stopped doing that challenge, because, and we even asked about that, just was talking about it in the house one day. And I think because, one, I think a couple times there was damage to the house, but because they tear up the house so bad, and then they have to clean it up. So
Yeah.
nobody comes in there and cleans up. They bring us the vacuum every Thursday before the live show. The bathrooms, there were about 2 weeks, 3 weeks where we went where nobody cleaned the bathroom. And it's like, okay, you guys, is somebody going in the bathroom? Somebody would say they're going to clean it and they didn't do it, but nobody came in and cleaned anything. We had to do it. That's
See, I
why
have
some
to
of
take shower shoes. I'd have to take shower shoes up. That's
girl.
why I can't be in no Big Brother house, because I can't see spit on the mirrors and
Girl.
whatever. Like, it would drive me insane. Like, make your bed, wake
Yes.
up, make your bed. You know what I'm saying? But the beds are always a disaster. Like, it would drive me insane.
I would get up every day. And, for the first 45 days, I was over in that corner where it was really hard to make up my bed. So I'd have to get on the bed trying to make up the bed. But I can't, at home, I make my bed up every day. And so when you see those guys where half their closet is on the floor, and you look around, but you actually have to do a mental block and just say, it ain't your stuff, Alicia. Don't worry about it. Leave it alone. Don't say nothing. Because otherwise it would drive you crazy because of the mess. It really would drive you crazy.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't. I gotta clean my braces. I have to be up in the mirrors, doing my stuff.
See, now that's why I thought Survivor would, as much as I like Survivor at this age in particular, I said, oh, I couldn't get dirty like that. That would drive me crazy. Because, they always show you guys after competitions and stuff with dirt all over you. And I'm like, why do they come back and not go straight in the water and get all of that stuff off?
Oh, you have players that are like that, but me, listen, I think I suffer from dandruff, but when I'm in that salt water, I don't have a flake of dandruff anywhere on my scalp. For some reason, the salt water does that to you. But I
Uh-huh.
would just take my buff and I would scrub my skin and I would like exfoliate with the sand. And I'm not a
Uh-huh.
stinky person anyway. And because we're not eating the food we usually eat, like, our breath really doesn't stink. Like, my husband thinks like everyone's breath is really, really nasty. But we're not eating the food that we regularly eat. So it really, like, I, like, I always kept myself clean. Like,
Like,
you
you
have,
guys don't have a toothbrush, right? You can't brush your teeth.
no,
Oh
you don't have a
my
toothbrush, but we would
God.
have, like, in Panama and in Samoa, we had lemon trees and they have the little thorns, and I would clean my teeth. But on a regular season of Survivor, you just take the charcoal and you clean your teeth with it, or you take the sticks and you just scrub. You wanna massage your gums so they don't bleed when you go home.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I
That's a
always kept myself
lot.
clean. I have clothes that I always would wear at night,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would wake up, put my bathing suit on, and let my panties air out, or if I have to scrub them and clean them. No, yeah, yeah, like my
Yeah,
panties, my bra. I'd walk around with no bra, bathing suit top, whatever. And then at night, I put on my layers. Like, I have my long socks. I'd roll down my pants, And you just have ways of I just have ways of doing things. Like, I don't dirty my nighttime, my pajama clothes, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get that messed up. If I'm going to get anything messed up, it's going to be my bathing suit or whatever.
Yeah. Wow. 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 So if you had to, your biggest takeaway, if you had to pick one thing, well, you said week 9 on the traders. What's your biggest takeaway that you've learned about yourself in playing all these games? And what do you think your biggest game strategy is when you go in?
For me, it's always my social game. I am a social butterfly. I do get along with people. I'm one of those people that I like to talk, and,
Yeah,
and I like to say hello. I don't mind being the first person to say hello no matter who I'm around.
right.
And but once I tell you hello, the next time I want you to tell me hello. I
Yeah,
want you to tell me good morning.
right.
So, I'm gonna make you comfortable, whatever, but it goes both ways. I'm
There
not
you
gonna be
go.
the one always picking up the phone to call you. You gotta call me too. It's gotta be
A
equal. I'm
two-way
not gonna put
street.
in
It's
a
a
lot
give
of
and take.
effort. So with my games, I think that what helps me is my social game. I'm
Yeah,
very approachable. I feel like I have an open door policy. If you want to talk to me, if you have an issue, come talk to me. Let me know. Let's work it out before we have to go, you know, before it turns into something else. I
yeah.
do say messed up things. I've said and seen things and heard myself say things I don't remember saying or doing until I see them on TV. Because sometimes I'm just blunt. I don't know, it's the Puerto Rican in me. Sometimes we just say things and
Yeah,
didn't mean to offend, but do. Um, but I'm a big girl too. I can say I'm sorry. I can admit it.
there you go.
So,
I think that's my because I'm a social butterfly. I'm a people person. I think I read people well, although I realized when I got home I wasn't reading people as well as I thought I was because there was a lot of behind the scenes conversation that was going on that I didn't have any idea was going on. But I think a lot of times I'm one of those that's very straightforward, very direct, and so I have to scale back and say, "Shut up, Felicia," because a lot of times I say too much. I've got to learn how to hold more. Um, so that's my something. I've always known that was me too, but I guess I thought I was going to do a better job. I would. That's why I want to get on something else and see if I can reel that in and manage that and do better because I do think I actually still hold very good relationship with everybody. I don't take any of the stuff in the house personal unless you get personal, if that makes
mhm.
sense.
Oh, that makes total sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gameplay is gameplay, and I'm with that all day. But I think when you move past gameplay to where I feel like you do personal attacks on people, that's where it's like, oh, you don't get to do that. So it's that kind of something. But man, I would love to do some type of game with you. Deal or no deal. I could be on deal or no deal with you, and that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, so it looks like they're gonna cast for season 2. So, because
Ah,
I saw it on Instagram, it said apply for Deal or No Deal Island 2.
okay.
So they
I'm gonna
must
have to
be
get
doing
on
very
out there for
well.
that. Who's doing what channel? Because I've been watching it. In fact, we just watched it Monday night.
Yeah, it's
Rob,
on
Boston Rob,
NBC. It's on
Boston Rob
NBC.
is throwing down.
So everyone thought that he was out in the traitor castle when in fact he was off on that island talking to the banker.
He's if they ain't careful, Rob gonna take him to the end. I think though they're so conscientious of him. I think just because of who he is, at some point somebody's gonna take him down.
Yeah, oh, they're gonna try. Yeah, they're gonna try.
They're
But
gonna
he usually
try.
has his people that protect him. It all depends.
Yeah, yeah. And I like Peter. Peter on your guys' seat. Peter surprised me.
Peter and I and Sheree and Peppermint had an alliance on day one called THC. But when
Oh,
it came to the Peter Pals, to the most faithful of the faithful, I wasn't included.
yeah, yeah. I
But
think
that
that's
helped me. That helped me
yeah,
because that solidified and that allowed me to let the other people know, listen, just for now, temporarily, the leftovers need to work together if we
yeah,
have any shot at getting to the end. So,
yeah.
as a matter of fact, now that we're talking about that pool table scene, I put some stuff on eBay because people don't realize, like, for the traders, 11 complete outfits and some extras. So I went out there with like 16 outfits, and that shit added up, let me tell you. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sell some of this stuff because I don't wear ponchos on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Like on a regular. I was like, let me see if anybody wants some of this stuff. So I started posting some of my stuff on eBay, but I put it on my Instagram.
Oh, and it's selling, isn't it?
I think somebody bid on my pajamas. Uh, they showed the pajamas 3 times when like um Dan and Phaedra at first were gonna recruit me. Oh, my husband looks so handsome. We got a Sweet 15 in Connecticut, so we're leaving Friday.
Oh,
We have to drive up, but I'm wearing a green dress, and I said find a green shirt with a green tie. So,
okay. I'm
yeah.
telling you, green has become the color this year. I love it.
Yeah, my dress is pretty. But yeah, so I put my stuff on eBay and I was like, watch the fans talk shit. But listen, it's because I'm never gonna wear that stuff again. I got clothes from the Pearl Islands, like my finale dress when I won my second title, my second survivor, and that dress is like a size 6. I'm a 12 now. I'll never wear it. I might sell that joker too. Get
Right.
it out of my closet. For real. I have a
Okay.
lot of stuff.
How was it being able to get to the Oscars? Oh my God.
So we were invited to the Oscar brunch, and we ended up playing against the host of the E Network. There was a lot of people there. Then we got to hang around and eat with Rob Lowe and Paula Abdul. But we, like they were there. I didn't bother them, but they fed us caviar, like stuff I never ate before. We had like 10 different dishes. It was so delicious. It was Phaedra,
Oh
MJ,
wow.
excuse me, Peter, Janelle, me. So we played Pictionary against them, all dressed up in our red carpet outfits. And the crazy thing is that they didn't tell us until we got there that we were gonna play Pictionary, and that it was gonna be for best what is the most important one of the night? The category for
Best picture?
best picture. And so we were looking at just that category for this year. So we were Peter was like, I'm a good artist. I'm going to draw, and if it's like Oppenheimer, I'm going to do like these numbers. You're going to know it's Oppenheimer. And if it's Barbie, I'm going to draw like feet, like the Barbie on her tiptoes. So we're
Uh-huh.
focusing on the movies for just this year.
Mm-hmm.
We get out there and it's movies from like the last 20 years. And so my
And you're
first
like,
one was,
what?
yeah, my first one was Parasite. They got that right away. Oh, and then they made us all draw. And then we were tied, and it was my turn to draw again. And they give me the English patient, and I start with like an English muffin, and they can't figure it out. And then I was allowed to pass 2 times, and I passed. And then the second one is No Country for Old Men, and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna draw this shit? Like I
Right.
can't draw this.
No Country for Old Men. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what you would do with that.
So I passed again, and then the third one ended up being oh my God, now I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what it was, but The Sound of Music, which is an old movie.
Oh, I love this. That's my favorite
So
all-time movie.
yeah, so I drew a musical note, and they were like music, and then I wrote ear, and they were like, what is that? So then I drew an earring on the ear, and they couldn't figure it out. So then I drew a face and was an ear. So when they didn't get it, the team of hosts that were there from the different shows on E, they said The Sound of Music, and I was like, they knew what these words were gonna be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then they
yeah.
beat us. So, but all in all, I had such a blast. I had a good time. They glammed me up head to
Oh, I
toe.
saw you guys look so nice.
So we
I said,
really had
okay,
a
I
good time.
got to figure out how to get to the Oscars. I got to do a few more shows.
You need to go on Traitors. They'll get you to the
Yes. Traitors and the Circle. I got to get on Traitors and the Circle.
I think I could do Circle because I watched that one as well.
Yeah, and now that when you're in a room by yourself, you ain't even got to get in nobody's face.
Yeah. Well, would you catfish then? You'd be a catfish.
I would have to, because if they knew it was me, I wouldn't get very far, I don't think. So I would
Well,
have to
you'd
do
be
that and do that.
surprised how many people, like when we walked into the trader house, I knew who most of the gamers were except for Trishelle.
Yeah.
And but everyone else, I didn't have a clue who they were. And they didn't know who
Uh,
we were. So you'd be surprised, but then it is, they're all celebrities from their own shows. Like I don't watch the
right.
Bravo channel. Like I don't know nothing, now I'm watching Married to Medicine because of Phaedra, but I don't know anything about Bravo, so
Did
you'd
you
be
get along?
surprised.
It looked like you had a good relationship with Phaedra.
Yeah, it didn't start off like that because it was still, as there were more people in the house and more housewives, they were always together. But
Yeah.
little by little, then we got tighter and tighter and tighter as the numbers dwindled. And anytime somebody got banished, I'd be out there like saying, I'd love to be a traitor, but she told me that after Dan burned her and Parvati burned her, she had to stay with someone in the Bravo community, and she thought maybe that Kate would be the perfect person, being that she had experience playing the first season. But I think that was Phaedra's downfall as well, because Kate didn't protect her.
No, and I was surprised, Dan, well, actually, all three of them at some point threw Phaedra under the bus. I was surprised at that, but each one of them took an opportunity at that table, the banishment table, to throw her under the bus. It's like, dang. And the bad part is she never did that to them.
Exactly. She's loyal, and if she tells you something, like when she told Trishelle, her and Trishelle were together in the car, and people don't realize that our day one is 3 full days of us filming, like even in the same outfits for 3 days, right?
Oh, wow.
Um, and then the mission at the Loch Ness, it was so far away, like it was few hours drive. We're just sitting in the car. But so Trishelle was in the car with Phaedra, and she was telling Phaedra, I always go on the, road rules and the challenge, and I never win. People target me, blah, blah. So Phaedra had made up her mind to just not target Trishelle. But I had told Phaedra, and Trishelle knows it. I was like, girl, the minute she threw your name out, like, that's probably why I couldn't be a traitor, because the minute you start saying my name or looking at me sideways, like I'd have so many people afraid to speak at the round table.
Yeah.
You talk, you die. It would be a quiet table. Alan would be like, gosh, we've been here 2 hours. Guys, you got to say something. I'd have them shook. Like they would be
Yeah.
afraid to talk. But Trishelle, let me tell you. And that's why Trishelle thought that CT was her traitor angel, because we did have a conversation where I was like, I think Phaedra might be my traitor angel and might be protecting me. And, Dan and Parvati were my traitor angels. Somebody's got to be protecting you, Trishelle, because you go to that banishment table and you have no filter. You say whatever you want to say and there's no consequences. Somebody's looking out for you. And she thought it
Right.
was CT.
Wow. Wow. So out of all the shows that you've been on, um, who's become your biggest bestie as far as other castmates?
Oh, I have besties on every season of Survivor. Like I
Yeah.
have people that I can talk to. Like just today, I spoke to. If I pull up my phone, I spoke to Abby today. I spoke to Tony today. Who else did I talk to today? I'm always talking to somebody on the phone. Let me see. Oh, Fair Play. Fair Play at 4:23 today. Abby at 4:05. Tony at 1:30 p.m. Let me see. Ron Clark this morning at 9:03.
Wow.
That was just today. So then of course I was talking to Rachel and Trishelle, but we were doing it, we were getting ready to do a live and stuff. And Bergie and all of us were doing a live. We did a live on Tuesday, so we were chatting about it. Um,
Okay.
Figgy on Sunday, but every season of Survivor, I get along with, I think, just about every single Survivor except one or two. Other
That's
than
good.
that, like I'm
That's
pretty
good.
solid with everyone. And then I have my best friends from every season, like Krista and Courtney. And from the traders, I think the people I talk to probably the most would be like Trishelle, Phaedra, Sheree, Bergie. I talk to all of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I talk to just about all of them. I mean, some people are real busy, like Deontay. I don't talk to Max. I don't talk to Lars. I don't talk to Marcus. Like, there's certain people I don't talk to, but the ones that made it far, those are the ones that
Yeah.
we talk. You know.
I think people don't realize how, regardless of how it looks or production and how they make it look, you're in the space with these people, especially like in Big Brother, 24/7. You you have to have a rapport with them. And so you really do gain a bond with them. Sometimes even where you just, some people are saying, why are you even friends with them? It's like, you don't understand. It's a game, but you're in the house with these people all day long. You do see all their different sides and you gain a liking for them.
Absolutely. So we filmed for the max was 16 hours a day on the traders. We were always prepared for a 16-hour day.
Yeah.
And that goes to me and Janelle. Like, I put I called it the FU sweater today on eBay. Um, because all I did was take a sip of water and all of a sudden I was a trader. But when me and her finished going back and forth with FU, you're the trader, you're a, all of that. Um, it didn't feel well. It did not feel good. Like, my stomach started aching, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to leave our relationship like this. Like, this is nuts. And before she got up to go to the circle of truth, I was like, Janelle, I want to apologize, because it wasn't like, I didn't want that to be the case. She simply thought we were a traitor. And when you're putting someone's name down, they want you to say you're a traitor because these are the reasons I
Right.
think you're a traitor. So for me, I always say, hey, Mama Fee, I think you're a traitor because your chicken was awful this afternoon for dinner. Like, whatever it is,
Right.
I say
Right.
something. Um, so although I didn't think she was a traitor, but it was just that she was, she came to that round table saying, damn, Parvati, CT Sandra. And it was like, ooh, whoa, where's this? If you coming for me,
Right. I'm
I
coming
can't.
for you. Right.
Yeah, but when we had that argument, it didn't sit right with me. And I said, Janelle, I want to apologize. I didn't want it to wait outside of the castle or a
Yeah.
month later when we talk or when it all airs on TV. And she was like, Sandra, don't even worry about it. It's just the game. And then she was like, I still love you. And I was like, I love you too. And then she walked out and said, hey, guys, I'm a faithful. Um, but because of the relationship you build, like, it
Yeah.
didn't feel good to me.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I'm glad that we know how to play these games.
Yes.
And Janelle will tell you, like, when she plays, she freaking plays, friend or no friend. We'll be friends outside the castle if we have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
game is game. And that's something that the gamers understand, but not everybody does. Not
There you
everybody in
go.
the castle does.
There you go. There you go. So what's next for you, Sandra? And we're gonna get off because I don't want to hold you too long. I know you got a whole lot going on. What's
Oh no,
next
I
for
just
you?
gotta clean my kitchen, but I ate before coming over here. I don't have, well, right now, like, I have my 30th anniversary cruise because my husband did 30 years in the army, so he
Oh
retired,
my
and
God.
yeah, he did 30 years and 11 days. So
What was his MO?
he was in communications.
Okay.
He was a 31 uniform for a lot of years, and then it changes to, like, different. They change the numbers, like Lima identified
Yeah.
and things. But he was a commo chief and stuff like that. Somebody had said, like, hello from Riverview, Florida. I lived in Riverview, Florida when I did Survivor Island of the Idols. And because my husband was stationed at MacDill Air Force Base.
Oh, okay.
And so when you were in Tacoma, we were stationed in Fort Lewis. And I worked at the AFES. I worked at McCord Air Force Base and I worked in the AFES there at Fort Lewis.
Oh my God. When were you in Tacoma? How long were you
Let me
guys
see.
there?
So I did Survivor in 2003 and I put in my application in 2002. No, we went out in 2002, but I didn't win till 2003. I don't know, 2002.
Okay, because we
Let's
were
just
we were
say.
back in Tacoma. Me and my husband both retired Air Force 20 years,
Mhm.
and in 2003 we moved back to Tacoma. We were actually in Auburn, and we were there from 2003 to 2013.
And where are you now?
Now we're in Kennesaw, Georgia, Atlanta.
Oh, okay, by my housewives. Yeah, Sheree and
Yeah,
Phaedra.
yeah,
As a
yeah. And
matter of
you're
fact,
now, are you in North Carolina now?
yeah, in Fayetteville. Now it's Fort Liberty, but back
And
then
I
it was
think our
Fort
free our
Bragg.
screen your screen just froze. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Because I'm
It was
I'm gonna be
Fort
coming to
Bragg.
North Carolina, so I'm gonna look you up.
I'm coming to Atlanta to the Ron Clark Academy. That's what he was talking to me about today. They're having a viewing party. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. They're having a viewing party on April the 3rd. Oh, where did he go? He told me this morning. There, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia. Um,
Oh,
yeah, at the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta on April 3rd.
okay.
So they're gonna watch that episode with about 800 of the students and the parents, but they're bringing cast members from Survivor over there. So
Oh, wow.
let me know if you're in the area. I'll tell them you swinging by too.
I'm in the area and I'm swinging by. Just make sure it's okay and I'll show up in the room. I would love to.
Yeah, that would be great if we saw you.
Yes. And I was going to say, and even if they don't want me to come there, but how long, if you stay 2 days or whatever, we'll definitely do lunch. We'll go get a lemon drop together.
Don't play with me because I gotta figure out who's picking me up at the airport when I fly in.
Oh,
So or the
I'm
next day.
there.
Yeah,
I'm
all right. Well,
there.
we're gonna square this away,
Yes.
but yeah,
Send me some text or whatever and give me the information and I'm good.
absolutely. Do you ever answer any of these things? Any of these things that they say here? Let me see. Hold on. Let's.
I do see I'm not getting any of the, if anybody's chatting in here, I'm not seeing it at all on my screen. And I usually should see comments and I'm not seeing them. I don't know why. On my Instagram, everybody's saying hi and they're waving, but nobody's really left a comment or anything.
Okay,
So
they're
I'm not
just saying
seeing
hello,
anything.
ladies. Hi, hello, ladies. They can see you on Facebook too. Also, Bergie
Okay.
with the shield. Oh, when we were talking about the mistakes people made, yeah. Bergie with the shield was Dan's mistake, and Parvati's mistake was trying to recruit Peter. Those were
Yeah.
definitely, and for me, like I said, Phaedra trying to get Kate. Those challenges looked hard. I was wondering about the cut on your head. Yikes! Wow. Girl, I know that hurt for weeks. Yeah, that my boob. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, I
Greetings
think
from
Dan too, when
Riverside.
he attacked Phaedra at the table that night, oh, he was done.
Yeah, that's when we had our eyes open to Phaedra, but everybody loved her so much that even if they thought she was a traitor, nobody was like, nah, like, is she? Let's wait and see,
Yeah,
but her
yeah,
game was like Phaedra, her social game is unbelievable.
yeah, yeah.
Um
I don't know why I can't see the comments. I'm trying to figure out why. Because you normally I can see what's coming through and I'm not. So anybody that's on Instagram, if you got comments, I can see that. I can't see my YouTube or TikTok. Nothing's coming through over there. In fact, somebody told me that it's not showing live, except on my end, it's showing that it's all live. So again, I don't know what my thing be doing.
this has been an awesome live stream. They're watching us. Obviously, somebody's watching us.
Somebody is what I mean. I can see people going in and out. I think a lot. Hey, Mama Fee, I have one question. Who do you miss the most from Big Brother?
Who do you who do you miss?
Mimi.
Nicole.
Nicole was my girl. She really was. And I'll be honest, I really was close with Sari and Jared. There's a lot of back and forth on that. But I was close with Sari and Jared, but I think I felt my true genuine connection with Mimi, McCall. Somebody says, "Yeah, I didn't see you live on TikTok." So see, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, and you got a relative on here.
I do. My niece.
It's,
Who is it?
it says I'm watching you, cuz
Uh-oh, wait a minute. See, I don't see that one. What can you see the
Carolyn
name?
Mitchell Hollingsworth.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. That's one of my cousins. She's in Florida.
Oh, okay. Well, here's a question for you. If you were on the Traitors, would you rather be a faithful or a traitor?
I've thought about that. I think I would rather, for my personality, be a faithful, but I think for the fact that, like you said, when you're a traitor, you have banishment and the
Murders.
murders. And when you're a traitor, you get to do the murders after the banishment, so you have a little bit more control over the game.
Right.
So that's a it's a tough something, but I don't know. I really do have a hard time lying. I'd rather just be straightforward and just tell people, not I'm a faithful,
So
I'm a
in your
traitor, but
case, it would be better if you started out a faithful, cemented yourself as a faithful, proved your loyalty as a
and
faithful, and then
then went to be a
a
traitor.
traitor got recruited, because then they wouldn't be looking at you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So then you could possibly get to the end that way.
Yeah.
But then you got to let the people know, like, I would love to be a traitor. Like anytime somebody gets banished, I'd love to be a
Be a
traitor.
traitor, right?
Pick me. Uh,
Right. Me, I want to be one. I was thinking they might have picked you too. I was surprised actually that they didn't. But again, I think they thought because Peter was so on to everybody, they needed to flip him because then when people found out he was a traitor, they would have been. So I knew why they did what they did, but
yeah.
I also knew he wasn't going to take it. And
No,
I was
I thought it was, and then he said after the fact, like, if you would have recruited me a week later and gave me an ultimatum and I had no choice. But see, he wasn't looking at the long game, and he wasn't looking
right.
at it through the eyes of a player. A gamer would say, this is my opportunity to put myself and my people forward, because I can
Yes.
help them more. People are already saying he's an awful faithful, like he's
Right.
wishy-washy. He might be a traitor. He's picking fights with Kevin for no reason.
Right.
Like they were playing dumb. So the way they played was dumb. Not that he was dumb, but just
Right. Right.
like as a gamer, like, no, I don't think we should go at each other while there's other names being thrown around at the banishment table. No, you're not gonna write my name down on a slate. Like, you never want your name written down, because it becomes
Right.
a thing. So that part of him playing that game, like, I was like, I don't get that, but if that's what he wants to do, and then it just became too much.
Right. And then see, like you said, if he had become the traitor after being the faithful, then he could protect the people when they bring up somebody's name where he's like, no, I don't want them to be put out. That's when you say, maybe we should think about such. And so you have that leverage, but you stay a faithful, you don't have no leverage when they do the murders.
Yeah, you absolutely don't, like, but yeah, the traders have the advantage.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for them. They don't have to worry about murders. They go to sleep at night, and they don't have to worry about crap. But they put in long hours. Traders put in long hours.
Yeah.
So if we're doing 16, they're doing even more. So
Woo, they ain't getting no sleep.
yeah, because they really are very secretive. So when everyone goes to sleep, then they're able to do their stuff. So if we pull a 16-hour shift,
Wow.
I'm surprised Phaedra's eyelashes weren't sticking to each other. Because people would say
Ah!
at breakfast, whoever shows up tired, if you catch somebody yawning, they were up all night. They're a traitor. But then you can't be bored and yawn, because any little thing is you're a traitor.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. So yeah, you guys are looking at everything.
Yeah, and a lot of, like, my family, they're the worst. They call me, be like, how you didn't know she was a traitor? Look at her. You see her eyes? And I'm like, was I even in the room with her? Look at Parvati. She's doing this, that, and the other. Was I even in that room? Because they say 3 here, 4 here, go
Yeah.
to a different room. They want you to use the whole castle and outside if the weather's good.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times you're just listening to what someone saw, or by then what they're telling you they heard from the other person that heard it from you know what I'm saying? A lot of hearsay. So you're just going off
Exactly.
of what you hear, and what you see, and
My
hope for
my
the
family did the same thing. My husband had recorded all the live feeds and had everything ready for me to view when I got home. And he's talking about this person didn't like you and that person didn't like you. And I said, I could only go off of conversations that I was in the room in. And you have to trust everything else. I said, so no, I didn't realize that Jared was Cerie's son.
yeah. Oh, well, because I know their history, because I know what he looks like. I knew that, but I'm
Yeah.
not out there. Um, Plus, Jared is best friends with one of my cousins in Connecticut.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so and when my cousin and him took a trip, during COVID down to, I think, Florida or something like that. They stopped at my house on their way back up to Connecticut. So
You would have
yeah,
reckoned,
so
wow. And Izzy knew because Izzy follows Cerie. And so, but again, and as soon as they said it, it's like, why didn't I pick up on that? They look exactly alike, but you're not looking for that. So it never even crosses your mind.
yeah, yeah. I remember the one time Big Brother had the two twins.
Yep, the identical twins, and then they
Yeah,
had the father son, father daughter, Dan, and I think it was Dan, and I can't remember what his daughter's name was, but they were on together one year, so they've done it before.
yeah.
But you don't go in thinking, okay, who in here is related, so it never registered, and I never really saw those two together one on one where it raised an eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
So they were good at keeping that secret. Well, at least Cerie
Or
was.
at least she was, because he
And right, I
told
was gonna say at
Blue.
least Cerie was because Jared was talking way too much.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I'm shocked she didn't slap him up a couple of times. Like, boy, you messing up my damn game.
That's why they got that mother knows best, because she's trying to tell him, look, if you had just listened to me, this could have worked out differently. Well, Sandra, I really appreciate. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I was just reading everything. Whoever Felix said, "Will we do Deal or No Deal Island?" But we talked about that earlier. We
Right.
both would love to be on Deal or No Deal Island.
Okay, I'm going to
Absolutely.
apply when I get off
Call
the phone.
us,
Right, right. Call me.
Mama Fee. It was a pleasure.
It was a
You got my
pleasure.
number. Uh,
Yes.
if I end up going down there, because I think I am going down to Atlanta, I'm definitely gonna make sure that we see each other, whether it's a ride from the airport or to the airport, or whether
There
it's
you go.
coffee or the actual event, which I'm sure, they want everybody to be there, because a lot of people watch both shows. You know what I'm saying? They're on CBS.
Ah, okay, okay.
So
Yeah,
but yeah.
just keep me posted on that and just let me know. But absolutely, we will connect if you show up here.
Absolutely. All right.
Have a
Thank
good
you for
night,
all your time.
smooches. I love you.
Bye, everyone. Love you guys. Bye.
Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Uh huh. Instru